Next Friday, one has another event coming up on the 13th of January. Superbon is fighting. I mean, I'm not so up on kickboxing and Muay Thai and the grappling stuff, which you probably know by now. They do a lot of that. They do MMA, they do a lot of different types of combat sports. But you probably know that they made a deal a while back with Amazon. So Prime Video is part of your Amazon account, and you get it. Well, you don't really get it for free. It's like $16.19, I think, a month. But that gives you, like, you can order on Amazon, and then you get the Prime Video with it. But they made this deal with Amazon a while back where they have free fights on there. So this one is one on Prime Video 6. This looks like a pretty good match. They both, I mean, if you followed any Muay Thai or kickboxing, man, they do a lot of fights. I mean, Superbon, first of all, Superbon has so many names, I'm not even going to bother. I just call him Superbon. It's much easier. He has literally different names. He has nicknames. He has his name he was born with. It gets a little bit confusing, and I can't pronounce half of them, so why bother? I'm just gonna butcher them. I'm an American, for God's sakes. But he has 113 wins and 34 losses. All these big kickboxer guys and Muay Thai guys have so many fights. It's crazy when you compare it to MMA. I get it; it's different, but when you start looking at some of the top guys, you're like, man, 100, 200 fights. I've seen some of them. It's amazing. But he is the one championship featherweight kickboxing world champ. And he's going to be taking on, I'm going to mess this up too, Chingiz. Yeah, Chingiz Alazov. And he's got 59 5-1 no contest. So he's definitely got a little bit less experience. I went back and I looked at some of Superbon's fights. I mean, I don't know, kickboxing is much different than MMA, but it's just fascinating to me. There's that whole line about Bruce Lee saying, he fears the person who practices the same thing 10,000 times versus the person who knows 10,000 things. And when you talk about kickboxing and Muay Thai, and technically, I don't really know the difference. I don't know if it's just a Thai name for kind of the same thing. It's something I really need to look into because I really don't know. What I mean is if there's a different rule set or there's a different way of training or I'm not even quite sure. There's so many things with one that I have to look into. They're different weight classes. They obviously have little bit different rule set. They do grappling matches, which I don't know much about the rule set or any of that. But it's the thing I keep talking about. There's this evolution going on. It always happens, especially in MMA since the very beginning. It's really, MMA in particular is not a very old sport. And so it goes through a phase and then something comes along like the wrestling guys or the Muay Thai guys or kickboxing. Alex Pereira comes in, the Dagestani guys, the Russians in general changed it. Fedor brought a different aspect. But I've been trying to kind of follow a little bit of all of it as much as I can find time to do. So I went and watched some of Superbon's fights. Man, those guys are just, they're scary, I don't even know what it feels like to get kicked by someone like Superbon, and I don't think I want to know.